If he doesn't race tonight, he will choke away. Well, might as well race. Fuck it.
Simple line for me. Fuck it. I'll race.
I wasn't gonna race because, you know, it was gonna be a little harder on me having DC to race the guy who could, like, you know, at least go out here with a win. I mean, the last 4 out of 5 Cup Series races, he have won. But now he may not even race tonight. And now we don't know the situation that Tony's gonna race tonight. We know the situation that Trace is gonna race tonight again. So Trace is in the same situation as last night. So for Trace Trace must win stage 1 or stage 2, and he must win Cast My Crow because he is not here. DNF because he is not racing.
Oh, hold on. Let me get back in the party, guys. Hang on, I'm getting back in the party. Hang on. My bad. I lagged out. I was trying to catch all that on the broadcast, and I did, for the most part. But this makes how many seasons?
Started live stream too.
Yeah. I mean, Recoilz TV starting a podcast. You're live right now. I'm on with former NOS Energy Racing League owner Dennis Harris. Unfortunately, Dennis saying next season will be his last full-time season in NASCAR as he goes to pursue his dreams in college. And we're all going to miss him because, you know, that's our leader. This man is a freaking legend in the NOS Energy Racing League series. Over 10 years experience, like 4 or 5 championships, countless numbers of wins. He's a freaking legend. Driving a legendary car. He's in the 48. And next year, he will be in the 20. I'm hyping you up, brother, because you're a legend in this business, Dennis. You've got like, what, 140 plus wins? Somewhere around there? In your entire career? That's insane, dude. How many wins do you got in your career? Like, is it north of 140?
Well, after winning last night, it made it 179 career wins. Across all 3 series.
179 career wins. Did you all hear that shit? 179. Tell me this man is not a freaking legend.
169 Cup Series wins. Only about 5, probably about 5 Xfinity wins, and like, let's see, yeah, like that. Anyways, yeah, 179.
Jesus. That right there is a legend in the making. Like, you guys don't even realize how fucking awesome this league is, yo. Number one, we're the league out here, bro. We have fun, but on the track, we take it seriously. Playoff implications tonight. Dennis, what's the track we're at tonight? One time for the
We're
fans.
at Kansas.
Kansas tonight. Playoff implications on the line at Kansas tonight. Dennis, for the fans, tell them the implications one time.
The implications of tonight's race: show up, repeat, and make the championship.
Simple as.
Well, that's my implications. Now, for everyone else.
I don't know if those are updated. We should send this chat. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, the NOS Energy Cup Series playoff standings after Talladega. DC currently had 4 wins, 3,045 points, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a major contender in the Cup Series, DNFing and not racing tonight, okay? Behind him is Tony with 1 win, 3,037 points, and 1 championship point. I haven't seen or heard from Tony in a couple of days. Coming in third is my man in the party, Harris. 4 wins, 3,036 points in the Cup Series. Killing it. Coming in fourth is, you know it, the legend him freaking self, Dennis. 4 wins, 3,034 points. A strong contender to win the Cup Series title again this year. Well, he didn't win it last year. It went to a guy we no longer have in this league. So I guess the title is, how you say, vacated. Fifth place is yours truly, with 1 win and 3,033 points. Sixth place is a guy who is DNF'd countless times. And again tonight, with playoff implications on the line, he's DNFing again tonight. It's almost certain from the reports I'm hearing. 1 win, 3,030 points, 1 championship point. All for nothing. Like, Cast, where you at, buddy? You gotta show up and race, bro. This is me blasting you. That's horrible. Seventh place.
Get blasted.
Yeah, get blasted, fool. Okay, coming in seventh place, we have Trace with 1 win, 3,003 points. Dennis, what are you
I can't even go
expecting out of
live right
Trace?
now. I'm having problems with my camera.
That's horrible, bro. But,
camera since June.
oh, that's horrible. Really?
And oh!
What the hell?
Okay, we're good. Bro, it just like fucking slammed on the ground, bro. I thought it cracked.
That's horrible. Okay, so I gotta ask you this, Dennis. What are you expecting out of place number 7, Trace? You think he's gonna show tonight?
Place number 7, Trace. Well, number one, I have to say, he must show up to this race instead of having a life.
Well, I guess we gotta cue that button. Get blasted! Trace, you've been blasted. Well, another guy in 8th place. I don't even think he races in the league anymore, Dennis. C19.
Yeah, he's
2
over his
wins,
depth.
2,046 points. He officially was fired from the league, lost his job, and is just nowhere to be found at this point.
Get blasted.
Yep. Get blasted. You're out of here, fool. Coming in place number 9, another guy, Dennis, you know very well, that got just absolutely just killed in the Cup Series. Napa Fan 24. Fucking just dead. Dead. And then, finally,
Death.
in place 10,
Death.
Mr.
Nothing
Unreliable. Just
death.
death. Diedrich's death.
Just
Death.
death. Death.
Just
Oh, he's
dead.
been dead, so more death.
He was dead. Dennis, what do you say we move to the Xfinity Series?
More death.
You ready for this?
More
Okay.
death.
I need NOS Energy
I'm not ready for this.
playoff standings after Kansas, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go down the line.
Alright, guys, we're going to have Recoilz in the stream.
What? Oh, shit.
Here. Ah, man, I haven't used my camera in years. I'm joking, about a couple months.
Did you get yourself live?
So, holy crap.
What the hell?
Change the camera, bruh.
Who?
So, bruh, it's very frustrating how, you know, this season right here It's about to come to an end, guys. This season's about to come to an end.
Very true.
Finally. Finally. The season's gonna come to an end. And, you know, next week is championship weekend, so that means it's gonna be one guy, one winner, one believer, one achiever, and they just found themselves with a receiver to a ticket to Homestead, to win the Homestead. Hey, winning Homestead, it's beautiful, man. Did it 4 times. It's one of my favorite tracks ever. You get that high groove working, greatest thing in NASCAR history.
Very true. Very true.
I ain't in my broadcast because it's gay. Like, bro, what is up with my camera, bro? I gotta go back to the freaking camera school again. There was a piece of shit.
Just look it up on YouTube. It's all kind of shit.
Well, I can find it on here. I just need to find it somewhere. I don't know where the camera's at. Where the settings at for camera. I think this is it. No, that's for... that's not the settings. Oh, that's not the settings. That is not the settings.
He's really going through everything.
Let's see. That's the settings. No, that's not the settings. Where's the settings at for the camera?
Oh, hey,
it's supposed to be on here.
Dennis, I need your input on something here. Am I looking at this right? Does Harris really lead second place in Xfinity by 1 point?
Yes.
By 1 freaking point?
Yes. It's true. It's damn true.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh my god, I cannot freaking find it, bro. Where is the camera mode on here?
Okay. I'm actually
Found
in
it.
Championship 4. That's insane. I take this so seriously.
I found my camera. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I gotta figure out how to adjust it now.
Harrison first, Recoilz in second, Dennis in third, Dante in fourth. That's your Championship 4. Trace, Death, Cass, Death, Tony, Death, Yellow, Death, C19, Death, Napper, Death. Death, death, death.
Death, death, death.
In that order.
In that order.
So yeah. I could be taking home my 4th championship. 13 years, 4 championships. That's not a bad stat line. That's pretty good. Wouldn't you say, Dennis? That's pretty good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not gonna be the
Camera's
same.
too high. Damn it.
Now your camera's too high?
Drop the camera down. Fuck.
Wow. So how many laps are we looking out tonight, Dennis?
Wait, let me check the camera again. Beautiful. 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 Alright. So now, I gotta figure out how to flip my camera because it was looking a little opposite.
Staring at the walls again, aren't you? Told you that's bad for your health.
Actually, when I had my left hand up, it was showing my right hand. Like, so opposite. Camera adjust. Well, we got the camera fixed. Now we just need the... Something wrong with the camera, bro. Like...
Are you okay there? Are you having problems over there?
Major problems. Major key alert problems over
Bro, I'm
here.
telling you, go to YouTube. You can learn a bunch of stuff on
I
YouTube.
I freaking found it. Wow, just at the last second I finally found it.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow, Dennis. Well, at least you didn't let me
Wow.
down like my classmates did in high school.
Now, should I put it on the left or should I put it on the right? Honestly, I think it belongs on the left. I'm not sure. Like, I watched Mark, he has his like on the right, on the top. But I think mine should go on, yeah, I guess I keep it up here. Works.
Pick a location, man.
Alright, let's see. Background. See how my background look. You know, if I put it like that, you know, I look like a weird ass bitch. But yeah.
Whoa, there it is.
It's like a toy camera.
Hey,
Like one of
make
those
sure you
toy
check your
cameras
mic
that
so
you
you're
see.
allowed to be heard. I just thought of that just now. So how many minutes till race time, big dude?
Let's see. As we check my phone, 30 minutes. If nobody don't bag up the time, and as of right now, it is sitting at 30 minutes.
30 minutes till race time. Wow. And it's at Kansas. Do you know how many laps?
We're looking at 134 laps.
Jesus. Talk about a brutal race. Are we running stages here too?
And we're running stages.
Oh, yeah, even more brutal. How is that going to play out? That's going to be an interesting race. And, you know, people are going to be looking to look for some setups early and see if they can get the jump on some people around here. Maybe a 2-tire, 4-tire strategy close towards the end of the race, or is everybody going to stay out? Because some people need to push the limit tonight. Shout out to my sponsor at The Limit Apparel. Thank you, bro.
Alright, we're going to start another live stream again, so let's go ahead and get that started again. I guess I'll put in NASCAR then to start my stream. I'll just keep it at the freaking main menu.
That's what I'm
Just
doing. It's
talk.
just on multiplayer. Yeah, it's just on multiplayer. I just call it a podcast. Well, are you okay over there? Okay, Dennis has lost his brain. He's insane in the membrane.
Alright, so first, well. Alright, I'm muting my TV. We're not having that crap. Mute! Okay, there we go. We got it.
Technical difficulties.
TV is on. Alright. So now I can, well, not quite, my friend. Can't start yet. Let me take this out. Where's my speaker? Ah. Wow. Wow. The headset just fall off. How about that?
Wow. You're having all sorts of problems over there, aren't you?
That's not the right charger. Is this the right charger? That is not the right charger. Well, this charger. Yes. Alright, we're going to charge my speaker real quickly. We give you NASCAR Heat 2?
NASCAR Heat 2. The most brutally obnoxious, arcadish ass racing game you will ever play in your lifetime. I'm telling you, thank God for NASCAR Heat 3. Because Heat 2 was just a load of bullshit, copy and pasted from Heat 1, and it was just broken, dead, just broken.
Broken. Cause I'm
It was just
broken.
utter shit. NASCAR Heat 2
I see me now.
sucked. Honestly, NASCAR Heat 2 just flat out fucking sucked. Apologize for the language, but that's coming from a heated NASCAR fan who enjoys NASCAR racing games. The last great NASCAR freaking racing game we actually had was NASCAR 15. The last great NASCAR game we ever had.
Hey, 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 yeah, hey, yeah. Martin Truex Jr. in this motherfucker, yeah. Martin Truex Jr. is about to fucking die tonight.
Whoa, what?
It's that Martin Truex Jr. rematch over here. Yeah.
You're playing that live and you're getting me copyrighted, is what's happening.
No, I'm talking over it, so it won't be copyrighted.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We'll keep it going then.
Yeah, that's why I said I was like Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. Just pull out something random, bro. Be like Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. over here.
You're dumb.
You know what's
so
going
dumb.
on, guys? This is Harris 365 here. We're bringing you a pre-race show here for basically our second to the last weekend on NASCAR Heat 2. I'm sorry for you guys. You guys can't see the R in NASCAR, but it's all right because you guys see me, so it's okay. So today, guys, it's a tragic day in NASCAR. Tragic day in NASCAR, guys.
Very tragic, very tragic.
What happened, guys? Chase Elliott won today. That very tragic.
All that shit.
I mean, the way how he won. I mean, it's a clean way, but for the guy in second place, the guy who's in second place has been beefing with Chase Elliott for like the past year. Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin did not do anything to move this guy out of the way. All Denny Hamlin was doing was just getting blocked. And people claim Denny Hamlin as, you know, the next Kyle Busch because of his ruthless aggression racing. But prevailed on the restart.
Yep.
Chase Elliott was very strong on the restart.
Very
Denny
strong.
Hamlin had 40 lap better tires than Chase Elliott. Listen,
Jesus.
40 lap better tires than Chase Elliott, and he choked away the restart and let a man who has 40 laps worse tires than him and just let him win.
Wow.
It's simple as that.
What was
And
Hamlin
everyone
thinking?
is like, everyone was like, hey, Denny Hamlin's a crybaby and all. Denny Hamlin did not say anything after the race. The only thing Hamlin said after the race, we got to get better next time. You damn right you got to get better. How in the world do you have tires that is like 40 laps better than Chase Elliott, and you blow away a lead to a man that you don't like, a man that you disgrace, a man that you have so much animosity to,
Jesus.
Chase Elliott. Like,
Jesus.
Denny Hamlin's supposed to win this race today. Not just because I'm not saying Hamlin's supposed to, like push somebody out of the way for a win.
Yeah.
Like,
You're not lying.
this year, Kevin Harvick pushed Kyle Busch. He dumped him at New Hampshire and won the race. And at Chicago, Kyle Busch come out of here, pull out, one of the craziest moves ever. Everyone said, he should never did that. That's racing. Bumping is racing. People can hate Kyle Busch all you want, but like Dale Jr. said, he's making this sport better because of how he races. As simple as that.
I somehow highly doubt that. I think Kyle Busch's antics are a disgrace to NASCAR, honestly. The way he drives other people when they just slightly bump him, and then he overreacts like he does too much on the track. Like, a key prime example, the Ron Hornaday incident in the Truck Series. This man, Ron Hornaday, had no room with a lap down car, I believe, on the bottom lane. Had Kyle Busch on the outside of him. This man had nowhere to go, so he nudged it, hit the gas, and threaded between both of them, and it pushed Kyle up the track. And when the caution came out, instead of acting like a normal human being and a man of integrity, he showed his absolute true colors of why he is the crappiest driver in the history of NASCAR. What did he do? He chased Ron Hornaday all the way down on the track under caution and promptly put his ass into the fucking wall. Kyle Busch is a fucking disgrace to NASCAR. I'm sorry. I'm going the fuck off on that. He is a complete and fucking utter disgrace. I don't give a damn what anybody says. You can continue though.
Yeah. Like, after the win he had at Chicago, like, we was like, hey, everybody had mixed emotions. That was a good move. That was a horrible move. Larson should have, he should have did better. He should have did worse. He should have did something. But it was a good race. It was a great move. I thought, in my opinion, that was a great move that Kyle Busch did to Kyle Larson. But victory lane, Kyle Busch took it to a different level. Instead of like, hey, I'm glad that I won, and that was just one hell of a race that we raced. No, he did not say that. That's something that Jimmy Johnson would say. if Jimmy Johnson did that move, he would say something like that. He was like, he'll be like, congratulations to Larson, racing me hard. That's racing. It's NASCAR. But Kyle Busch, he didn't say anything like that. First thing he did in the interview, he got both his hands, pretending like he's crying. He's doing that to the fans in TV. He's pretending that he's crying, like he's rubbing his eyes to the fans. He's calling them crybabies because of the finish that happened at Chicago. I mean, it's simply true. Fans are crybabies because of one little thing that can happen. But then again, I have to disagree because the fans can cry all they want. The fans can cry all they want because NASCAR ain't same anymore. It's a whole different process now. The car packages are horrible now. There's like heel the car packages. They're horrible. It's not like 2014 where everybody was close together. It's like they was close together like a video game. Like, one person slides by, takes the lead, then somebody out of nowhere just come by from like 8th place, flies all the way to first. That's great. That's car package right there, and that was the Gen 6 car package, and that was great days. 2014, it was like great racing. Like even Brad Keselowski, like he figured out the car package and just he dominated until that one day he ran up with Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth fucked his ass up, and then 2 weeks later he took out Gordon, and he fucked him up, and this possibly is like one of the greatest NASCAR fights in history. And that year, that was Brad Keselowski year right there. He could have won the championship.
That fight was freaking epic, yo. That fight was epic.
Yeah, that like Brad Keselowski, that was his year. But the two guys, Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon, they ruined his moment, and it was like. So like Jeff Gordon, he just comes up straight to ESPN. He's like, "That's not how a champion race. I don't even see how you even won the championship, and you're racing like that." But it's simply like that. Jeff Gordon simply said it on TV, and he got fined $5,000 for saying that. I mean, he's just speaking his word. A four-time NASCAR champion, won 94 victories. He's speaking his word. He's just speaking the truth. 2015, Brad slowed down. He only won like 2 races in 2015. So who steps up and takes Brad's spot on being the bad guy? Was it Kyle Busch? Kyle Busch was like out for the season, like half of the year, with a torn ankle and leg. So who had to take that spot from Brad? Joey Logano. Joey Logano won 7 races in 2015. Everyone was like, "Get that son of a bitch out of here." Well, guess what? Let's take it back. When Joey Logano at Kansas, Matt Kenseth has to lead. Logano's in second, and he spins Kenseth right out. People will say, "Why would you spin him out?" I mean, it's 5 laps to go. You can sit there and you can sit there, make a groove, and keep racing him until the final lap, and he sits there and spins him out and gets the win for himself. And then the next week at Talladega, so we were like, hey, Matt Kenseth probably going to wreck him. He's probably going to get his revenge. But that didn't happen. Going down pit road, Joey Logano, he slid, like he hit the brakes. He was going to miss pit road. He hits the brakes, and he slides right in front of Matt Kenseth. And it kind of ruined the front, like the grill tape of Matt Kenseth, but it was all good. Who wins that race? Joey Logano, because NASCAR basically gave Joey Logano the win at Talladega. I mean, it came down to him and Dale Jr., and it was like whoever crosses the line first, we will throw out a caution, and the race is over. And Logano crosses the line before Junior and won the race. And now this is what everybody's talking about. The race after Talladega, Martinsville. Joey Logano dominating that whole race. Joey Logano led 200 and out of 400, 500 at the time. So it was like lap, let's see, it was lap 430 coming to about 50 laps to go. No, coming to 70 laps to go in Martinsville. Matt Kenseth, he's a lap down. He got spun out by Brad Keselowski, which made him go a lap down. So he didn't get the free pass because the guy in front of him got the free pass, and the guy who was in front of him was Paul Menard, who was in the 27 car back then. And you know, it just winds out that, you know, Matt Kenseth is starting beside who? Joey Logano. And they raced for about 10 laps. Jeff Gordon is in second place. Listen to me, guys. Is this a stereotype, guys? The same two guys who fucked up Brad Keselowski. Track. It sounds like Dale Jr. coming out from his entrance. That's how loud the audience was, and that's possibly the last time NASCAR had a sold out event at Martinsville. Because after that Martinsville race, everybody quit watching NASCAR. Like after Jeff Gordon retired, everybody started watching NASCAR. Simple as that.
That's what I'm
saying. Don't come at me and say everyone started watching after Tony Stewart retired. I mean, we love Tony Stewart, but he wasn't a Jeff Gordon. He was a Dale Jr.
Exactly.
He was a Dale Sr.
Exactly.
Tony Stewart was a man who was just a man. Like Tony Stewart started his career at Joe Gibbs, racing with Joe Gibbs in the 20 car. He had success. He had the bragging. But we're just gonna say it like this. Everyone wants to compare Kyle Busch to Dale Sr. I compare Kyle Busch to Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart was like the Kyle Busch back in the day. Simply as that. Just simply as that. I'm not gonna say. I mean, Tony was a bad guy, but he was a good guy too. And then back then, it was no such thing called a bad guy. Everybody was neutral. You had guys who's gonna race you hard. Everybody back then raced you hard. It's not like today where we got some guys that's gonna race you hard, like Harvick and Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch. Back then, everybody's racing you hard. Even Jimmy Johnson was racing you hard back then for the freaking race win. Dale Jr. was racing you hard when he was in the 8 car. Jeff Gordon, when he was running the Rainbow Paint Schemes, he was racing you hard. Even Michael Waltrip, he was racing you hard. This man only has one career win, but he was still racing you hard. The commentators was racing you hard. They was commentating so fucking good, it sounded like they was on the racetrack. Mike Joy, one of the greatest NASCAR commentators all time. He made the call. The greatest. Don't come at me. I'm just gonna say it like this. Mike Joy made the greatest. He made the greatest line in NASCAR history. 20 years of frustration. 20 years of trying. Dale Earnhardt has won Daytona 500. Simple as that. And you guys want to come at me and be like, Austin Dillon. I mean, when Austin Dillon won Daytona 500, I mean, it was kind of cool. It was really kind of cool the way how he came back and said it. Like, you know, Austin Dillon won 20 years after Dale Earnhardt won the Daytona 500 and run the 3-car in the victory lane. Austin Dillon does the same thing. But it's a difference. He didn't do it like Dale did it. Dale did it. The race ended under caution. And it's just like that. I mean, Dale was going to win anyway if it didn't go under caution. Austin Dillon just, you know, he's on the outside. And he just comes down and take out a man and just won the race. And everyone was like, he cheated, bro. He don't deserve to win. I don't give a fuck.
Jesus.
If you're looking at history, 20 years ago, the 3-car came in victory lane at Daytona, and now it's 20 years later. Austin Dillon's in the same situation. He's in second place. You grew up to this moment. Austin Dillon was in victory lane when Dale Sr. was in there, and you guys want to be like, how is Austin Dillon in victory lane? He probably wasn't even born. Austin Dillon was 6 years old when Dale Sr. made it to victory lane for the first time at Daytona 500. He was. Austin Dillon was on his left. Todd Dillon on the right. History is that. And more history came, not just the 20-car, not just the 3-car, making it back in the victory lane, Daytona 500 for the first time in 20 years. How about the 43-car, Bubba Wallace, coming in second place? So that's kind of legendary, seeing the 3-car come in first and the 43 in second. That's pretty legendary. And then that kind of did show you people want to, and that really kind of showed you guys like who would be like a better driver, Dale Earnhardt or Richard Petty. And that race basically showed you by the numbers. Dale Earnhardt comes before Richard Petty. I don't give a crap what anyone says, but if you ain't gonna, I don't care what anyone says, but if you're gonna cheat to win some races, give it to Dale Sr. Greatest NASCAR driver of all time. Blank period. Dale Sr. was the intimidator. He was the man that will look in your eye and say, quit looking at my damn eye before I fucking wreck you in the damn race. Simple as that. If you looked at Dale Sr. any type of way, he would look at you any type of way, and he'll be like, I see you on the track, and you stay out my way. Simple as that. I mean, that's how NASCAR's supposed to be. It's supposed to be just like that.
True. Very true.
Dale Sr. He has many rivalries out there, but he also will be known for the Daryl Watchfield and Dale Sr. rivalry. That right there is probably one of the greatest rivalries of all time right there. Like, especially when those two guys come down racing at the short track, the race is already official. It's going to come down between DW or Dale Sr. It's already over because those guys, when it comes down to short track racing, it's going to be those two. They always, battling. And that's how short track racing has been made because those two. They made it great, and it's still going great today because that's basically the only races NASCAR is really good at today is short track racing because the intermediate tracks that they have now, like Kansas and Atlanta, like those tracks basically like one car. That's basically like a one-car race. As simple as that. Because whoever's going to be first, like at Atlanta or Kansas, they're winning the race by like at least 13 seconds. That is not racing. That is not racing. That is not racing at all.
You're right.
That's not racing. Like this year, Martin Truex Jr. won that Auto Club. He won by 20 seconds. The guy in second place, 20 seconds behind Martin Truex Jr. The fuck is that? The fuck is that? Martin Truex Jr. Oh, don't get me started with Kentucky. Don't get me started with Kentucky. Whoever in first place at Kentucky automatically won by a lap. That's how bad that track is. Don't get me started with Kentucky. That's a horrible track. And I don't know. I mean, like, they ruined the track. They ruined Kentucky. When they repaid the track back in 2016, 2017, they ruined the track. It went from that track went from, you know, 6 guys coming down to the win, and now it's just 1 guy winning now. It's just like that. Like, I remember that track. That used to be like a Martin Truex, no, excuse me, Brad Keselowski track. Brad always used to win at that track every year, ever since it opened up.
You can keep talking, Dennis.
Oh, my bad. Hold on, I'm doing something real quick. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking right there. It's just heartbreaking to see that, man. NASCAR really changed on us. Man. Well, let's get back to the real talk, guys. Well, Chase Elliott won today, and the words Chase Elliott said today, I'm glad I don't have to go through Talladega with some hell. Because Chase Elliott know if he didn't win that race today, he will fucked up. Because Chase Elliott, guys, he started today's race 8 points out of the playoffs. And then he just finds a way to get the win. So Chase Elliott's winning that. So Chase Elliott win at Dover, guys. It was a success. People will be like, Chase Elliott's trash, but this is the race that Chase Elliott showed himself that he is a professional NASCAR driver. I'm not finna say future NASCAR champion, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that man, if he keeps racing like that, we're gonna be looking at Chase Elliott as the next Jimmy Johnson. I'm saying it right now. I'm just gonna say it straight on my stream. Chase Elliott is looking to be the next Jimmy Johnson. If he wins the championship, he's gonna be the next Jimmy Johnson. But right now, he's the next Johnson Jimmy. Jimmy Johns, Johnson Jimmy, Jimmy Johns, Johnson Jimmy, Jimmy Johns. Simple as that.
What you gonna do again?
Hey. But as simple as that. Jimmy, 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 Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, do 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 do. Jimmy Johnson, do 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 do. Jimmy, 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 Jimmy Johnson, Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy John, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy John, Jimmy John, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy G. Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson.
She got to look. Money tacky. You is so tacky.
Hey, quit the yo now. I don't give a damn. She tacky. Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson. We're ending this stream with Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson is Jimmy. Jimmy Johnson is Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson is Jimmy Johnson. People say he's gonna win this year, but he better show it up before he loses sponsor. Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, he's a 7-time NASCAR champion. Will he retire this season? But I don't think he will retire because he still got power in him because his years have been. Oh yeah, he's been with Lowe's for 17 years. Jimmy Johnson is still the best man in NASCAR. Don't at me. Jimmy Johnson is the fucking man. Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson is a seven-time champion. Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, 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 Jimmy, 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 Jimmy Johnson.
Are you done?
And that's gonna end our string, guys. Thank you for listening to our great single, Jimmy Johnson by Dennis. Next time we catch up with you guys, we will be streaming next weekend for the championships. Get ready for the championship, guys. Because it will be war. Thank you guys for watching. We out.